Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at XRP. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you are enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description below you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Once in the general chat area, just have mentioned a member of staff will be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff here. So basically, I'm still looking for the possibility we could be looking for this C wave or this this Y wave to the upside. So whether we progress in a 5-wave structure or potentially as a 3-wave structure will change the labeling on this move. For the most part, at the moment, it does seem to be a three-wave structure. So we are just going to keep tracking it as that for now. And then effectively, we'll have to monitor this move. If we did have to move up high enough, we could argue that we could be looking for some 5-wave moves. There is also a bearish potential here, so we're going to go over both of the things that I'm looking at currently. But for us to confirm a 5-wave structure up, we'd have to move up past this 1618 at the 6476 zone. So this is possible, but what we'd want to see is the correct structure play out here and effectively look to overcome some of these zones of resistance. In the example here, this top channel line, as well as some of these fib levels within this area. Okay, so the one-to-one as well is currently sitting at this 51.75. So within this structure, what we could be arguing is that we're making this C wave to the upside, and it would be very early stages of this if this was the case. And there's a couple of ways we can look at this counting this move. So primarily, I'm looking at this just as a simple 5-wave structure, which could actually be looking to break down here. It is, however, possible we could see some further extension here where this is a 1-2. So we could still have a fourth and a fifth in here. So this could be a fourth and a fifth. And then we could get one more push up where this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. However, it is also possible we could argue that we could just get a truncation here if we do get a smaller fifth, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completed. So if we get one more push up here, it would satisfy this a little bit better. However, it is possible that we could look to complete earlier on here. I'd really want to see one more push though for this to be a nice clean structure here. Otherwise, it's just a three-wave move. The problem is we can't really look at it as a diagonal because the fact is we didn't actually cross this wave one yet. The only way we could look at it like as one is we'd have to push this third wave up here where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be a B wave, would form another 5-wave move, and then we'd look to actually break down and cross this. And then this would actually turn into a expanding diagonal if that was the case, and it wouldn't be very choppy. So I'm just looking at it as a normal 5-wave structure at the moment, where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3. We have a normal fourth wave here, and we are within this fifth wave. So once this fifth wave completes, effectively what we'd be looking for is a deeper correction for a wave 2. Off the current zone, this is the area that we'd be looking for, this 37.49 to this 36.71. So this would be looking for this potential to break to the upside in a 5-wave structure. And what we'd want to see is we want to actually overcome this channel that we're currently sitting in. And we want to break out above this and then actually look to move up towards this 41.94 for confirmation of a third wave here. Once we reach the zone, we would then be looking to actually come back down and back test potentially this trend line here with a fourth, and actually then push up one more time for this fifth wave. So this would currently only push us up towards this 43.17 to this 42.41. So without further extension, it would be very far away from this C wave here. So we'd have to argue that if we did form a bigger 5-wave structure like this, that this could then potentially become a 1 and a 2, and then actually we look to push up for a bigger third wave and look to actually move up towards that 1-to-1 of the C wave up here. So we'll have to just keep an eye on it. Sometimes these C waves can fall short. I would want to see it at least take this A wave high though, but then a 0.618 of the A wave would be sufficient to count it as a completed C wave, though we need to be careful about saying things are truncated because sometimes they can just extend out. The other way, like I said, we can look at this is that potentially we could be getting some extension in here. And if we did have to move directly up without having this wave two, if we did have to just actually move directly up past this 40 cent 85, then I would be saying that actually what we've had is some extension within these waves. There's nothing really indicating a push that high at the moment, but if we did start to develop this and potentially maybe come back down here, find support, and then look to push up, then we could start to argue that we have an additional leg here where this is a 1-2, this is a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then actually we're looking to push up higher up into these zones. But until we actually form these additional legs, we need to just be careful because these can always roll over. So that's what I'm looking at within the sort of bullish scenario here. Looking to potentially start forming this C wave. It is also possible that we could argue that we I'm going to just turn this off for a second. It is also possible that we could still be within this B wave. We've only just come into the top end range of this, so it could actually play out that we form this as a W. We come actually back up here and form a connector wave, and then we look to push down one more time and actually look push deeper into the zone. So we need to see how this plays out. If this plays out, like I said, as a five-wave structure, potentially what we could then do is come back and back test this channel line, potentially this low, and then actually look to push up for another wave to the upside like this as an ABC. We did talk about it briefly in the previous video that we could actually see something like this play out where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as an expanding diagonal to the downside. If that is the case, we'd have to then treat this as a wave 1, and it would indicate more that actually we're going to get a retracement back up here and retest some of these zones and then actually look to reject and continue to the downside. So that would be looking for the possibility of this move playing out. So you move that. So when we moved up into this zone here, we did talk about the possibility that we could also just have a C wave completed here. And this is an A wave to the downside. We have a flat correction in this position. And actually we're looking to push down one more time for a C wave. If I just come out here. So the 1-to-1 of this is actually much lower here at this 24.37. So if we actually do start to break down here, this could be a zone we actually look to test out. And effectively what we could be looking for is, like I said, if we do form this as a expanding diagonal here and we face rejection again on this top expanding trend line here, effectively we could look to potentially form a wave 1, come up for 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and then actually look to come down towards this 24.37. But for as long as we hold this 30-cent range, we can also look for these bullish potentials. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. This would be basically within this WXY, it would be looking for the X wave to have completed already and actually us be looking to push down for this Z wave here. So this would be a WXYXZ, and the 1-to-1 would actually be potentially this 1464. So we can see this would be a lot shorter here, and we'd have to just monitor this move in case we do either get some extension down here, or alternatively, we could just look at this coming down for the C wave, and it might just complete without traveling the full 1-to-1 of this W wave here. So that's what we just got to be careful of within this. This move to the downside could then also have another move to the upside in the three-wave move, and it could just extend down further if this is going to take a bit more time. So we're going to have to just keep an eye on that. So the way that I'm currently looking at it is, like I said, we could see this play out as a 1, 2, 3, come back up here for 4, and then we get a 5 as a expanding diagonal here, which would then look to form a wave 1. Or alternatively, we could potentially be looking to extend to the downside here. I don't really like the structure, trying to count it as an impulse for the time being. But it is possible that we could argue that potentially we could have something like this where we've actually got a 1, 2 as a flat here. And then potentially we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And then we're looking for a potential B wave location. So it'll be interesting to see whether we manage to hold up this basically this five-wave structure here that we potentially have, or whether this rolls over and takes out this low. If this does take out this low, then what we could actually have is just a connector wave here as a 2. We haven't quite come up to that 50%, but if we do move up to this 50%, or potentially all the way up to this 786 of this 40, 70, we could still have the scenario where this all becomes a 1, we form a wave 2, and then we look to break down deeper. So we need to just be a bit careful with this channel line here as well. Like I said, we are currently within it, so it is possible that we could look to continue within this channel. And what I'd be looking for with this effectively would be to see um, whether we just get another three-wave structure in here as a connector wave, and this becomes a W and X, and then we actually push down for that Y wave to the downside. If we had to argue that we came back up into these zones here, 1-to-1 would be looking towards this 32.70. So this is something we're just going to have to keep an eye out as we progress here. But for as long as we hold these lows, we can look for that potential to actually extend up here. But yeah, as soon as we start to break down below this 36.13, all sort of bullish potential off of this wave structure here is invalidated, and we'll have to treat it just as a B wave here, which could then actually indicate, like I said, that we could start to see some impulsive movements to the downside where this becomes a 1-2 and then actually break down. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. And why not leave us some feedback down below. In the description, you'll also find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. There's a lot happening. In the description, you'll also find affiliate links for PrimeXBT and BYBIT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. Check them out. If you don't have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Okay, everyone, I hope you have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.